One of the greatest things about the Pokemon franchise is that it has so many awesome, unique designs at their disposal. One of the sucky things about the franchise is that it doesn't celebrate the weird and wonderful that they've created. Pokemon Unite has done a great job of putting different Pokemon into the spotlight, such as Cramorant and Crustle, and I think that they can shine the spotlight on even more overshadowed Pokemon. I'm Will from Meowingcarrot, and here are the top Pokemon that I think would be awesome in Pokemon Unite. Bewear is hands down my favourite Pokemon, and Stuffle is a close second. Having both in this game would be so good. He made it into Smash Ultimate, he didn't make it into Pokken, but he can certainly make it into Pokemon Unite. I feel like he would make a great close-range attacker and defender. Has that been done before? Probably not. Here are what I think Bewear's moves should be. Drain Punch. Drain Punch will work like Venusaur's Giga Drain, but it would take more damage while being a little bit slower to execute. Double Edge. Bewear charges in a straight line, and if he makes contact with an opposing Pokemon, he takes a little bit of damage himself, kinda like Talonflame's Brave Bird. Charm. He completely immobilizes the opponent for 5 seconds. Is this a little bit OP? I feel like this might be a little bit OP. And finally, Brutal Swing. Bewear will swing his arms around, which will have far reach. I would like his ability to be fluffy, where he would just take less physical damage, but special attacks would take more damage. Type matchups aren't a thing in Pokemon Unite, so it wouldn't matter whether the attacker was a fire type or not. For his Unite move, I want Bewear to sprint similar to Machamp's Submission and then just hug a Pokemon. This hug would take slow damage for as long as the move lasts and holds the opposing Pokemon in place. I feel like this would be a great defensive move for Bewear and also a good opportunity to deal a lot of damage. So those are my thoughts on Bewear. If you think he was a bit too OP, you're probably not going to like the next one. My next choice is Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan I feel like would be a great choice. He's got such a unique design that I know the devs can have a lot of fun with. Kangaskhan will be another slow attacker, dealing heavy damage and ridiculous combos. Check out these move ideas. Dizzy Punch. This has a chance to confuse the opposing Pokemon, which would invert their controls. I know confusion hasn't been done yet, probably because it sounds a little bit too OP, but I feel like this would be a good move. Power Up Punch. Same as Lucario's Power Up Punch, the move increases Kangaskhan's attack and defense, and once you attack, you will deal more damage the lower your opponent's HP is. Double Hit. This will just be a heavy hitting move that you can use twice. Endure. It heals you while you're low at health, similar to how the Focus Band works. I feel like his ability should be Early Bird, which will, instead of just making him wake up early from sleep, will just negate sleep altogether. Finally, his Unite move would be Mega Kangaskhan. Now, I know Megas aren't a thing in Pokemon Unite yet, but this is too much of a good opportunity to pass up. With Mega Kangaskhan, the baby will come out and every attack that he uses hits twice, or every point that he scores is double. Either way, I know this move is going to be crazy OP. Next up, we've got Golisopod. I built the idea of Golisopod from the awesome idea that because of emergency exit, it would automatically have an eject button programmed into it when it gets to half health. This would automatically happen, the user wouldn't have any control, much like in its main games. I'm going to make up an attack type here and call Golisopod a Retreater, a hit and run Pokemon if you will. Some great strategy could come out of this really cool idea. To balance him, he would have low health and low base speed. As for attacks, I think Razor Shell would be a really great move. It would just have a high critical hit ratio and good damage output. First Impression would work like Pursuit, but it would have the ability to stun opposing Pokemon. So Shell Smash is the next move I was thinking, but I know Golisopod can't actually learn this move, but it just fits too well for him. If it could be replaced by something like Aqua Jet, then there we go, but the whole point is that he would use it for escaping battle rather than attacking. It would work just like Crustle's Shell Smash, where he just gains a lot of speed, and it's great for escaping or charging into battle. Finally, I think Dive would make a really good move for Golisopod. While it isn't a fantastic move, the fact that he can escape underwater is another way for him to retreat and get out of tricky situations. His ability would be Emergency Exit, which we've already discussed, and his Unite move would be Sword Stance, which triples, you heard me, triples Golisopod's attack stat and replenishes all of Golisopod's special attacks. This does no damage, but it's still incredibly powerful. My other thinking about Sword Stance could be that it either triples your attack or it doubles Golisopod's scoring, so that he can sneak away from any battle and then just score those extra goals. Up next is Slacking. Now the idea behind Slacking is all about the Truant ability. Slackoth and Slacking are crazy powerful, but they have to take a 2-second break after defeating a Pokemon. Vigoroth, however, loses the raw power and gets an increase in speed, but it never takes that break. While this hindrance seems ridiculously bad, I feel like the raw power in Slacking's basic attacks will be strong enough to balance him out. Move suggestions for Slacking would be Focus Punch, a very powerful punch, but if Slacking is hit by a special attack before landing the blow, he will get stunned and not actually deliver the move. Retaliate. It's based off Norman Slacking from Ruby and Sapphire. This move will deal double damage if one of your teammates is knocked out on your screen within 5 seconds. Slack Off. It gains health and this defense is raised. And then Giga Impact, which is a very powerful charge attack, which will then cause Slacking to add 2 seconds to its next 2-second break. The Truant, which we've talked about, and Early Bird for Vigoroth, which will be just exactly the same as Kangaskhan's one. Its Unite move will be Reversal. When Slacking is on low health, it'll create a huge range of damage output around it. I really like this idea for Slacking. I really love the idea of a Pokemon having an ability that hinders them in some way, but they've got this crazy power behind them. If they had Slacking or Regigigas or Archeops with one of these abilities, it would just make the game so much more interesting, and I would love the devs to explore this. Finally, for my 5th Pokemon, instead of choosing one to flesh out, I've gone for 6 honourable mentions, who I just think will be really cool ideas, but I haven't thought of movesets for them yet. So number 1 on this would be Sirfetch'd. Sirfetch'd is one of my favourite Pokemon, and definitely my favourite from Sword and Shield. The Lance and Shield combination would make some really interesting moves. Up next would be Staraptor. I feel like Staraptor would be a good Talonflame counter / mirror, where it would have Close Combat, which would be the same as Machamp, and Brave Bird, which would be the same as Talonflame. I feel like the raw power from Staraptor would be a really cool addition to the Pokemon Unite. Next we've got Greedent. I know there have been leaks about Greedent, but I just think it would be great if it can have citrus berries drop out from its tail so it can support its team just by walking in front of them. Next up, and I love this idea, I've gone for Parasect. I think Parasect can have an incredibly creative ability with Effect Spore, where if it's physically attacked at low health, it could immobilize or put the opponent to sleep for a few seconds just so it can escape. I've got Sigilyph, which will be a ranged defensive Pokemon immune to normal status conditions like paralysis, sleep or confusion if they implement that. And finally we've got Shuckle, who would just be incredibly defensive and disruptive as a supporter and wouldn't really have any good attacking moves. And that's it. So what did you think of these Pokemon? What Pokemon would you add? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to have this discussion with you. So I'm not going to sit here and ask you to subscribe, but if you have enjoyed this video, I've gone through my top 10 games of all time, and I stream on Twitch with my best buddy, so check us out when you get the time and see whether we're worthy of your subscription. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.